we got Dragon Ball Super, we got One Piece, we got NBA, we got White Man Dan, and we got gaming stuff with a little bit extra things. This is the expansion pack. All right, guys, welcome back. Episode 4. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our Dragon Ball Super segment. So we're gonna
swims back too.
Yeah, we did get swims. We actually got like everybody except for JoJo. Where's JoJo, Roy?
I haven't seen him in like days.
He still love you, JoJo.
JoJo, if you're out there, if you can hear us now, we miss you, man.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and go over this last episode, episode 128. Episode 128. So let's go ahead and go into that.
So basically, what happened in 128? It's mostly Jiren just whooping everybody's ass. He actually is fighting Vegeta. Vegeta doesn't even have enough energy to power up. Vegeta tries to fight him. Jiren ends up knocking him off. It was actually a really solid episode. Animation was fantastic. Vegeta ends up giving the remainder of his energy to Goku. Goku gets it, ends up powering up, fights Jiren. Then Goku really thinks about how Vegeta was fighting for him and how they're fighting for the universe, ends up going into Ultra Instinct, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty good episode next week too, with Goku mastering Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, it looked like she was finna go down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, at that point, like, it was another one of those episodes where you really get to feel for Vegeta, because he was taking
He was
ass.
He's like, man, these punches are heavy.
Yeah, so, you getting your ass beat, you thinking about how bad you getting your ass beat. You know, you getting your ass beat properly.
Literally, I was watching, it's not real, but the whole time I was just like, God, stop
hitting him. He had a swole eye and everything.
Oh, yeah.
He really dotted his eye. Like, his shit was fair. I saw.
I don't think I've ever. I can't remember the last time we saw a Super Saiyan with a black eye.
Yeah, like he.
No.
You know it was bad when he didn't have the left arm thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was like, nah. Look at his face though.
Look at his face.
Like, he stuck his ass. All right. So with that being said, we got kind of that little preview as far as we're gonna be seeing Goku in Ultra Instinct. The thing that I kind of liked about it was how they saw it before, but they was like, all right, that shit was kind of it wasn't really a big thing or whatever. Like he did it, but he ain't gonna do that all the time. No, he can't just fight like that. And so when he got into it, it just seemed like everybody just teed up. Like it's some shit finna happen.
Yeah.
And then the thing that kind of blew me, and I don't like how they did that, was that he was able to really like stick Jiren ass.
Yeah, that
and I'm like,
threw me off a little bit.
He just stuck his ass like for real.
Yeah, like Jiren looks shocked. He was like, ooh, like,
so
and
like,
eye,
so that,
you could see the pupil of his eyes. I didn't
Yeah.
even know he had pupils.
Right.
Yeah.
It was, and now actually I also noticed that too for when Goku's in Ultra Instinct, his pupils are dilated as fuck. So
Yeah.
I like that. That was a nice
Yeah,
little touch.
I mean,
That was a
Ultra
nice little
Instinct
touch I
actually,
got
yeah.
on that one.
It
But
looks decent.
with that though, so we see that pretty much Jiren's pushing everybody to the brinks of everything, and the last hope for Universe 7 is Goku Ultra Instinct.
Well,
And
technically,
Frieza, wherever
Frieza's
Wherever the
sitting
hell
right now.
he's-
I'm telling you that guy's gonna win the tournament. I'm telling you that guy's gonna win the tournament.
You heard it here first.
Right. That guy's gonna win the tournament and just fuck everything.
But a couple weeks ago, we were talking about, or not even last week, we were talking about Jiren, and Jordan, you said you really like his character.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way they're building, the way they've built Jiren, like what do you guys think about that? Like, let's actually get into detail as far as what Jiren is, who he is, where
what
he
he
came from,
represents,
you know
what he
I mean?
means to Super, and
Yeah.
all that good stuff. Yeah. I actually really love Jiren. I think he's a great character. I think he's one of the best villains that they've ever, or quote unquote villains. that they built up, and that the reason I say quote unquote is because he's not necessarily a bad guy. Right. It's just that because of circumstances he's bad. It makes him have more depth as a villain. I don't like that. I'm a villain for being a villain trope. We don't gotta call him a villain.
We can call him the antagonist.
There we go, right. The antagonist.
Well, so I personally still like Jiren, but I have heard some valid arguments against Jiren lately. Like,
who's saying that?
Like, but one of the guys we went to high school with. He had put on Facebook like, "Oh, Jiren's okay," and I was like, "Jiren's okay, like he's great." Yeah. But if you do notice, there is a pattern when it comes to Jiren where it's like he will like just be this ultra strong guy, and then you think you can pass him, and then you just can't. It's like after a while, it would get to the point where it's like, what more do you have to offer? The fact that you're just really, really strong.
Are you saying like he's like a Superman kind of?
Like it's not as bad as I despise Superman. It's not as bad as Superman. Right. I despise Superman. It's not as bad as Superman, but it's like it has that kind of aura to it where it's like, okay, like what's your weakness? You don't have one. Like you have to like sooner or later, you have to be able to gauge what his power is, you know, and it just seems like it's like a bottomless pit where it's like, that's cool, but at some point you have to figure, we have to know he has a limit somewhere.
I personally like that because what it does for Goku, because we all knew it was going to come down to Goku and Jiren anyway, it makes Goku go, because Goku's the character that always rises to the occasion. He always comes to, like, he always surpasses his limit kind of thing. That's the point of Goku. And when you look at Jiren, he provides that opportunity to conquer this bottomless pit, like you said. Right. Like, I think it helps Goku as a character, and it also creates a great antagonist. We didn't know that he existed, and now that we discover that he existed, even the way they built him up, saying there's someone that can kill a god. Yeah. Like, I think that's fantastic.
My two things on that. One, I'm the Goku guy. I'm not a big Vegeta fan. Like, I fuck with Vegeta. Like, I don't dislike him as much as other people dislike him. It's more like he's the Green Ranger. Everybody want to be the Green Ranger. I still fuck with the Red Ranger, so I still fuck with Goku.
I fuck with the Green Ranger.
Yeah, but I mean that's if you like the Green Ranger, you probably like Vegeta. But aside from that, though, the thing that I got out of this last episode was a little bit more respect for Vegeta, because if you notice it, when it comes down to not even just from the actions that he's done, but there's been plenty of situations where
a lot of character
Goku,
growth.
Where Goku and Vegeta are fighting someone, like when they were fighting Kid Buu. When they're fighting and Goku's just out, he's just done. You know, like if it was just Goku, we'd all be fucked. Yeah. But the fact that Vegeta has all of this pride, and it seems like Vegeta actually has more stamina than Goku does, if you think about it.
Well, he has more guts. Like he's willing to. Yeah.
He like Goku seems to be more resilient, but I think Vegeta has more stamina than Goku does. But a lot of the times Vegeta is saving Goku's ass. But aside from that, though, even getting into Jiren, to me, the thing that I kind of didn't like so much was that we all know how powerful Jiren is. Right. And when you see him throwing the blows that he's throwing, like they're slow punches, they're slow hits. He's just landing them, and they're really hurting people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But what happened when we're actually getting into these high impact, real quick intensity fights that people can't see,
like the Ultra Instinct fight with him?
Like I would think we haven't even, like, we technically haven't seen anywhere near the full power of Jiren. Like, if anything, you would say he's been using maybe 10% at max.
Because they made you think once Toppo got eliminated that he's like, I'm gonna go full power, and he powered up, but it didn't change anything, and it still seemed as though he was holding back. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be a point somewhere where this guy stops. Right. Like, like at some point he can't just keep being the most powerful person. Like, there's got to be like but I want that to be explored. I don't want that to be like I don't want it to be done badly.
You don't want to rush.
Yeah, you don't want to rush.
And we know that it's going to get rushed.
But you do want
especially with only 5 episodes left or something like that.
Yeah, and that's that's the thing. It's like it's like one of those things where you can foretell, like, this is just not going to end well. Yeah. Because it's the problem. Like, that's the problem with, like, the problem that I think our generation is having with some of these characters, and this goes beyond just Dragon Ball Super, is that they will make stuff that we really enjoy as children. And it was, but the thing about it is that like they did it so well. Like they really cared about their characters. They knew how to progress them well. Like they did a great job. But the problem is that these people, they get out of touch, and then they just don't like. It gets to the point now where the fans care more about your characters than you do. And so when you don't treat your characters right, we as fans get upset. And I think that's going to happen with Jiren, because like it's already happened to Goku. It's happened to Goku. I would say Toriyama's done a better job of treating Vegeta really well in Super. I think there's been a lot of character progression we've seen from Vegeta.
If anything, Goku's digressing.
Right. Goku's
absolutely digressing. Not even.
But the fact that you guys are saying that. So the last question to wrap up the segment for you guys. So we got Super. Super came to us, and all it did was bring back those memories of Z. It brought back how you felt when you saw Super Saiyan the first time. It got you involved with it. But like you said, there's people are taking stuff from our childhood and they're exploiting it. So my question would be: is Super a money grab? Is it is Super exploitation of the Z fighters?
Honestly,
so yes and no.
Okay,
yes and no, because because I think Akira Toriyama does still want to make Dragon Ball, because he understands that fans love his stuff. But I also say so no in that regard. But yes also because like you are gonna, if it's Dragon Ball Z related, you're gonna make a lot of money. But the issue that Toriyama has is that he doesn't care as much as we like. He doesn't care. It seems like he doesn't care as much as he did. He does stuff so willy nilly. Like he'll forget so much. Like we care about Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3. Yeah, that means nothing in Super, and it's disappointing. Super Saiyan 3 should be a big deal. Goku shouldn't have to go Super Saiyan Blue to fight a Krillin. Goku shouldn't have to go Super Saiyan Blue. He shouldn't go Super Saiyan Blue and lose to anyone. If you're not on a god level, he should not be losing to you if he's going Super Saiyan Blue. Frieza, it's like one of the biggest problems I had with Super was the way they handled Frieza. It was so poorly done and it was so rushed. But this is the same guy who gave us arguably the best villain in Dragon Ball Z in Frieza. So it's the same guy.
One of the best villains in anime history.
And he doesn't know how to handle him correctly anymore.
And then Jordan, same question, but more so for you, geared towards when let's say in Sonic the Hedgehog we got Shadow. And Shadow is kind of like a bastardization of Sonic. So do you think that Jiren is in the same sense, like is Jiren a money grab character? Is he a bastardization of Dragon Ball series?
I'll answer that in two parts. So the first part, to answer your original question, the reason I feel it's a money grab is because
do you feel it's more of a money grab or
I think Super in itself is a money grab, because what I see is, my question when I'm looking at something is, why are you doing it? Right? When I look at Super, the way that they created, and I think Swims was alluding to it, what has progressed in this series? What has come? How has Super extended the Dragon Ball Z series? What has it added on to it?
What has it added to the story?
And what is the point of it? And each saga seems like it's so like made up on the spot kind of thing.
It's so
that it doesn't seem like it adds a lot of value when you compare it to Z. So in my opinion, that like kind of like the Star Wars thing,
it's
like people
more of a money grab. It's an actual product that has a soul, but it's more of a money grab.
And then when you talk about Jiren, I wouldn't say Jiren's a money grab character. I don't think he's the bastardization of Goku per se. I think they kind of tried to do that with Goku Black, but I think it fell short a little bit. Character. I think that fell short, especially on people's expectations.
I'm sorry. Can we, for a quick thing with Black? See, this is exactly what I was talking about in my earlier point. Notice in Goku Black, they switch bodies, and all of a sudden Goku Black is able to attain and sustain so much power. But they talked about how in Dragon Ball Z, see, this is the problem. He doesn't remember this, but even though he created it. But in Dragon Ball Z, you had Captain Ginyu switch bodies
and
with people, and he couldn't. He was like, "Oh, he's powering up."
Yeah.
We know Goku has a power level of over like 60, 80,000 at that point, and what's his name can only Ginyu could only get to like 22,000, which made him susceptible to getting his ass beat by Gohan and Krillin. So why is it that So why is that something that happens in Dragon Ball Z? And then you see it again in Super,
and then all of a sudden it works.
That shit doesn't even matter anymore. He
said he made their ass susceptible to get their ass beat by Goku. Right, like you now had the capability to get your ass beat by some kids in the ball, motherfucker.
Right. Like that shit, it's handled so badly, and it's a shame because like they don't like. I don't know. I'm getting off track.
You're taking all my time, Swims.
All right,
now I'll wrap it up quick because Swims took all my time. No, I'm just messing around. No, but yeah, I think that Jiren actually is the most meaningful antagonist, as we concluded, antagonist that they've had. And that's why I actually personally like his character, just to wrap it all up, is because it's not just I'm making this guy bad. It's not just I'm making a money grab character that people will see as, oh, this is a really bad guy or whatever. I think it's an actual villain that they put in thought to for the series. That's why I like him. If there's a shining note to Super not being a money grab, I think it's Jiren and this fight between, this kind of like this kind of rivalry or whatever between Goku and Jiren.
Do you think Jiren?
Yeah, quickly.
Do you think Jiren means more to Super than Boo means to Z?
Kid Boo's my favorite villain, though.
Kid Boo's part of Boo.
That's hard.
I want to say yes, only because Kid Boo once again was kind of that, or just Boo for the most part was kind of just that. I'm going to be evil just to be evil. Like I'm just going to destroy stuff.
But that's what made him special.
That's what made him special.
We'll get to that.
He's one of the best kind of villains like that.
So,
but yeah.
So in conclusion, I'm thinking from what you guys are saying, Jordan, you're more 60-40 money grab. You're more 60-40. It's an actual thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for the most part, I think it's an actual thing. It's just, but I mean,
75-25.
75-25.
Yeah, I would say, 60-40. 60-40 is solid.
Math. That's our super content. We'll be back. All right, guys, welcome back. So we got Roy Man right back. He's got all of my.
We got our people, guys.
Yeah,
we brought him back.
Got a couple of people. They started seeing success. You want to shine. No.
Hey man, we out here.
No, so we're gonna go ahead and go over One Piece. And like I told you guys last week, I am going to be dedicated into catching up with everybody. I know it's impossible. Probably episode 343 by the time I get to episode 10,000, whatever. But just to update you guys, I'm on episode 12.
Solid 12.
Strong 12.
Strong 12. 826 guys.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so right now where I'm at, I done got accustomed to seeing Luffy, Nami.
Oh, Nami's already there.
Zoro.
Okay.
And Usopp.
Oh, really? Wow. That's all in episode 12?
That's solid.
That's
so
a lot.
Right now, episode 12 episode 13 is going to be the crew helping out Usopp so they can save that one chick or whatever.
Oh, okay. So you just met Usopp.
Yeah, you just met
Okay.
And I know that Usopp is the son of the guy that fucks with
Red Hair Shanks?
Yeah, fucks with Shanks. What's the dude's name?
That's a lot by episode 12.
Huh? What's his name?
Yasop.
Yasop.
Usopp or Yasop or
something
like that.
Just say Yasop.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. See, actually, I'm enjoying myself because I'm liking how Luffy's going around just telling people he gonna beat their ass. And like that's all he do. Like, hey, I'm gonna beat your ass, right? I told you I was gonna beat your ass. I'm finna beat your ass, and he be beating their ass.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever say he's gonna kill somebody. He just says,
I'm gonna beat your ass.
That's what he says.
I think he said I'm gonna kick your ass, but to me, like in black people language, I'm about to beat your ass. I told you I was gonna beat your ass.
Every time.
I'm excited about that. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and induce myself with the most strongest futuristic spoilers ever. So let's go ahead.
You won't remember it by the time you get there. You won't remember it.
You will be let's get an overview of the last manga. So what happened?
All right. So in the last chapter, we finally got to see what Snake Man is. Long story short, Snake Man was the speed form, so technically I was wrong. but it's more about speed with regards to how fast his punches are. Every time he throws a punch, it bounces. He used a similar move against Doflamingo. It's called Python.
Question.
What's up?
Did it make his defense any faster, any better?
No, it actually probably made it worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so he was super raw.
No.
Yeah, all right. Let's go ahead.
I didn't say it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be dodging like a snake. Yeah.
You said that. I'm like, that don't even sound right, Jordan.
So you know what? I admit it. I was wrong. I'm sorry, people.
Yeah. Call him out.
He's not even there.
Right. We'll keep a check every time I get something wrong.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so what happens is every time the punch shifts direction, it gets faster. So it kind of like a pinball or whatever. Ding, 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 ding.
Pretty much. Like Jiren.
Yeah. So it gets faster. What it meant to him fighting Katakuri? Not too much.
I'm sorry.
I
had that.
You threw me out so bad. Anyway, this is a really rough overview. So it didn't really mean too much to him fighting him. But it is Gear 4th, so they are a little bit closer. And Katakuri also was showcasing new moves. He was doing a donut roll, I think it's called, or something.
He did
he like rolls, and then he does a spike mochi. Basically, he's still beating Luffy.
This chapter, though,
I think that was basically the chapter is basically them fighting.
Yeah, and it's been one of the more even exchanges. Like
that they've had. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily Snake Man that's making it, breaking it. I think it's just the fact he's being in Gear 4th. I'm curious to see why he chose Snake Man to go into as opposed to Tank Man, whatever the regular mode is called.
I mean, if nothing else, I think Oda's doing a good job of.
But that was the overview. Sorry.
Yeah. I think Oda's doing I think Oda's doing a really good job of, at least at the start of when they started fighting, it was very clearly lopsided. I think over time he's done a good job. I mean, we often don't see any sort of training arcs. Luffy just kind of learns everything on the spot. This is, I think, one of the first times we got a flashback to when Luffy was actually getting trained by Raleigh. That's one of the original Pirate King's crew.
Yeah, his right-hand man, yeah.
So we actually see part of the training and him explaining some of the concepts of haki, which is that heightened, I guess, sense.
Eventually we will talk about it.
We will get deep into it. For right now, just know it's a way to heighten your senses or make your combat abilities stronger.
Yeah.
So he's doing a really good job of showing them equal. Still, kind of the last time I was here when we were discussing about Luffy having to use different forms to be stronger, kind of always throws things aside. But with this new,
do you like Snake Man?
It's cool. I mean, for me personally, I don't see the difference between Snake Man and Heavy Kong, except for the speed.
Oh,
I mean,
honestly, whatever it's called,
I would say this. I think, just think about it right now. I think the differences between Heavy Kong. I think
it's Balloon Man. It's the regular one.
I think Gear 4th is all about getting larger, so you get a base increase in speed and power. So Gear 2nd was all about speed. Gear 3rd was all about power.
And Gear 4th
is speed and power. Heavy Kong, I think, doubles down on the power aspect, and Python Man doubles down on the speed aspect. However, it's all in regards to, in terms of the speed and the power, it's all in attack. It has nothing to do with defense. His base defense, he gets a speed boost, but it's equal in both in terms of defense. Because from before, when he wasn't in Gear 4th, he's still getting hit with the same amount of attacks from Katakuri. So he's not necessarily seeing the future, and he's not necessarily dodging any faster. However, he's actually managing to land hits, not because Katakuri is not focused on seeing the future, because he is seeing the future. It's just his attacks are so fast and they're bouncing that he's able to hit him.
Yeah,
the little moment was his new form is Snake Man, and you know the little snake game on like Tetrises that used to like
yeah. I never really
that's essentially what the form is. Like he throws a punch and it literally just makes little turns and angles and that's why I was like, so.
Okay. I get, that does make a lot of sense.
So for those of you who've never read, at least now you kind of picture of what his attacks look like.
Okay. So the question that I'll bring up to you guys today is for me watching a couple episodes, I seen you ran into a couple of bosses. I'm only episode 12 and I think he done fought 2-3 people, beat their asses in 2-3 episodes. You guys have been talking about this Katakuri character for a decent little minute. So how long has this fight been going on?
A long time.
Months.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So you guys are talking about it, you're even talking about different forms and shit like that. So I can understand, the significance of the fight, but there, after a while, certain fights get kind of dry. So is this a dry ass fight, or you guys still rocking with it or what?
I'm on the it's dragging out a
really
little too long
really
side. Yeah.
Really?
I feel. I mean, for me, I feel like, to be honest, I think a while back, it wasn't Oda who said it, but someone, I think maybe his publisher or someone who he's either working for, released that I think by this time we would be in Wano, which is a different island with a different set of characters.
That's true.
It wasn't necessarily it wasn't true. I don't think Oda had come to that decision yet, but everyone had expected to be there
by the year of Zoro.
And so, if we really think, and a lot of people, if you look online, if you read about it, they are talking about when are we going to get to Wano? That almost never happens in One Piece because we're always in the moment and so into it that those people who are still watching One Piece aren't so much concerned about how long things take. But the fact that right now people are like, so when are we going to get to Wano? It shows that this whole arc has been dragging along. The first episode of the show, we talked about where we were last year, the very first episode or manga issue last year, and they had only just started to get fighting with Big Mom. We're already into another year and they're only just getting to fight Big Mom.
Wow.
It's taking so long, and it's showing with this fight. I talked to a few friends and I guess maybe a month or two ago, if we had gotten a full issue where it was nothing but Luffy and Katakuri fighting, everyone would have been hyped.
Yeah.
But we've gotten that several times. We've gotten where Katakuri's beating Luffy, Luffy's getting a hand, Katakuri's beating Luffy, Luffy's getting a hand. And I think this is maybe the third or fourth iteration of that. And at this point, Snake Man, while being cool, it's not groundbreaking. So no one is like, oh my God, I love this form. So at this point, it's all right, is Luffy going to beat Katakuri or not?
So then, Jordan, you said you're starting to, you actually appreciate this build up.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from with the whole arc aspect. Yes, the arc has dragged on, but with regards to just strictly the fight, for me, I think it makes sense. He's fighting a big baddie basically. He's the right hand to a Yonko. This is not gonna be just a fight that just gets over quick.
Yeah.
We talk about. I think they've talked about fights lasting days and weeks throughout the series of One Piece. Yeah. I think Jinbei and Ace's fight lasted a whole day, and that wasn't even the Ace before he died. Spoiler alert. But
get that.
You'll forget.
Watch this episode again.
Anyway. Sorry, that came out, and then I looked at him
I don't know who the hell that is, but my heart just
oh. I'm sorry. Anyway, so moving on. Anyway, don't focus on it too long. You'll forget by the time you get there. Trust me, that's a long ways away too. Anyway, so when you look at this fight, I think that it's lasting the perfect amount of time for me per se. I don't like how it keeps jumping away from it. Okay, but I will say that the fight is how I imagine this kind of scale of a fight, it's lasting the perfect amount of time for me. And I think that it's really showing the progression. Like you said, Oda doesn't do training arcs. So we need to see why Luffy can get to the point so he can fight a Yonko, because this fight is going to teach him or give him the ability or put him on that scale of being able to fight a Yonko and take down a Yonko. And to fight a right-hand man is getting pretty dang close to a Yonko's level.
You know what? I actually I agree with you. I think you're right on that. I think my frustration on the fight isn't so much that the fight itself is taking so long, because honestly, I think this is one of the better fights.
Yeah.
In the whole series. I'm not a huge fan of the anime because it tends to drag a lot of ads. Luffy getting stuck in buildings, Luffy getting stuck in a rock, all of that. But I think this is one of the better fights because it's been straight action. Luffy is actually solid. I think I'm just so tired of being with Big Mom. I just want to
he got stuck in a cage. I'm like, how long is this nigga finna be in this cage? He's gonna be in this cage forever. I'm looking, I'm like, but that nigga made out of rubber. How long is it gonna take to get out of this cage?
Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Expect for him to get stuck in between buildings.
In between
like
buildings.
There's a building here and a building here. He gets knocked back. He gets stuck. But episodes, G. Episodes. Not one, not two, but episodes, okay? Yeah. Somebody's gonna get stuck in a chimney.
It's gonna get
a chimney. His feet is dangling.
For episodes.
They look for him. They look for them. That's so I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the anime is good.
Yeah.
Does he get like stuck in a chest too or something like that? Like in a gold ball, he gets stuck. Oh my god!
Anyway, that's beside
he gets stuck in so many things. I don't understand how you have such bad luck.
But still, I mean, getting back to it, I think Jordan is right. The fight is lasting as long as it should.
I was just wrong the last segment, right? Oh no, I was wrong this segment.
Yeah. But
now you was wrong about being wrong. Yeah. You was just wrong about being wrong.
I just feel like the whole arc could move.
It's
forward.
all right. I'll take my win though. It's okay. That's 2 L's.
So Roy, all right. So on a scale from 1 to 10, as far as anticipation to the next manga, what you got for me? How much are you anticipating this next manga?
To be honest with you, my anticipation levels for like the last 6 months have probably been at like a solid 6.
You know what? And we got and guys, we're gonna bring you to the world. We're gonna bring you to the world of decimal points when it comes to like number scaling.
Oh yeah,
it's a 6. Bet. Give me a 6. What?
6 what?
Yeah, what is
6.2.
All right.
On a great day.
On a great
like
day.
6.8.
6.78 or 6.8.
What?
No. He's right. Nah, it's a 6.8. I'm excited, but not like. Nah.
All right, Jordan. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this next manga?
I want to say.
You didn't say 10.
Nah, I was thinking about 10, but I will say probably a 9 something. Yeah, probably a 9.
Okay. A 8.8 or a 9.2?
He does.
Hold on.
I wanna say a 8.8.
A 8.89 or a 8.80?
8.89.
Oh, you're really excited. Damn, Jordan.
I'm pretty excited. I think this fight means a lot to the series going forward. Okay, I think that
he just messed up my whole wrap up. He just did my whole wrap up. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You know, I guess that's the third one. Bye, guys.
Man, peace.
All right. Welcome back, guys. We're talking about the NBA. As we all know, this weekend is a pretty important weekend. It's the All-Star weekend.
Well, technically last weekend because it's again. But yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so give us a quick recap of where we are right now.
All right. Well, today we're shooting on a Sunday. So the recap is we pretty much have seen everything except for the actual All-Star game itself. As far as who won the 3-point contest, that was Devin Booker. He won that one. He broke the record for most points scored in the new era 3-point shot, whatever. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that stat because I feel like that
takes away from the old era.
Yeah, it really does, like strongly as hell. It knocks off Larry. Like y'all didn't just try to do Larry Bird like that.
Nah,
but anyway,
y'all not gonna do that.
And then
the dunk contest.
Who won the dunk contest?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell won that. I didn't like that he won it. Victor Oladipo, you really upsetted me.
Hey, the
bro, twice in a row. Mask. Nah, because he jagged it. So that's 2 dunk contests, bro. You don't get to come to no more. No more.
Stay home.
And the stuff he was gonna do, if he would have did it, like, oh my god, would have been insane. But he just.
It was a really tame dunk contest this year.
Oh, dude, it was. You know what? Like, I was excited for it,
but not too much athleticism.
Nah, it wasn't. That's surprised. That's the thing. It's like you need for a good dunk contest, you need athleticism, but you also need that height for you to be able to actually get these good dunks.
Quick question. How is the star power? I guess in
star power
events. Like, did you have big names?
That was another issue as well. When we kind of went over that the last time we were actually getting into the All-Star picks, the star power really wasn't anything impressive. The fact that you have 2 rookies that are in the dunk contest, that tells you that the star power of the league right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's like bad. It's not really there. And even a 3-point contest, you would expect bigger names than that. The biggest names you were getting was like Clay.
Yeah.
It really wasn't impressive. And I think what they're trying to do.
Dimwitty won the skills challenge.
Yeah, he won the skill. And I was knocking the shit out of him. You know, I'm still knocking you, bro. I'm still knocking you. You beat Laurie Markkinen in a skills contest. It doesn't really matter. So anyway.
Also we got the celebrity game. We can't forget about that.
Quavo got MVP, yeah.
Quavo can ball, man. But that girl from NBA 2K, she can actually play too. I was actually surprised she put up 17.
Bit. I was impressed. I was super impressed by that.
That's good. That's solid.
I'm
impressed by that.
This has been one of the weaker games because you don't have Kevin Hart, and it's like you're not as excited. I'm not just saying Kevin Hart, but the stars. I don't really care to see Justin Bieber play basketball.
You know what's funny? I don't know who this guy was because I didn't watch it, but I was watching some of the highlights.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Is that Kevin Hart? I thought he wasn't playing anymore."
It was Nate Robinson.
Is that who it was? Number 5?
No, that wasn't Nate Robinson. That was
I thought that was him.
I can't remember.
But I swear I thought it was Kevin Hart, like from a far angle, and he was playing exactly like how Kevin Hart played.
Well, the thing that I saw that I didn't necessarily like about, and I really like the celebrity game a lot. Like I really look forward to it because I like to see like what stars can actually hoop.
Yeah.
The thing that I did not like about it was the fact that not that it was tame, but that Nate Robinson played in it.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in there.
To me, like I follow him on IG. What up, Nate? But I follow him on IG, and I rock with all the Washington stuff because Washington really put out a lot of good athletes. Husky's solid as hell. But I see him all the time on the gram, and he's trying to work out and trying to get back in the league. Like he's been playing, he's doing everything.
That's
kind of
unfair advantage.
No, not even that. But he's done everything you have to do to really try to get back in the league. But the thing I didn't like was like, man, you just played in this celebrity all-star game.
That kind of took you out of the running.
It takes you out of the running
to be in the NBA.
Exactly. Like you like the fact that if you were to play and you didn't go if you went crazy, everybody like, why are you even in this? Yeah. But then if you don't go crazy,
it looks like you can't really play.
And I wouldn't even say it doesn't make him like he can't play. It just looks like
you're playing against weaker talent, so it looks like he's at that level where he's like kind of retired.
It made him look bad. He really didn't look, and he didn't look great. Like he missed a dunk and everything. I'm like, damn,
really?
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that win. What else we had?
We also got. I wanted to ask you two a question. Paul George was playing, and the fans were screaming, "We want George, we want George." And Russell Westbrook made a comment saying, "Paul George isn't going anywhere. He's staying right here." And I wanted to ask you guys because to me, that feels like he's almost kind of like bullying Paul George to stay there. He's speaking for another
OKC?
man. Yeah, he's speaking. And this was like right before the All-Star.
Okay.
So he's like speaking for another man, and they were talking about it. And I just wanted to see you guys' perspective on that. How do you guys feel about Russell Westbrook coming through and just giving everybody this word he's not going anywhere?
I don't know. Me personally, I don't like that whole like talking about I don't like other players and other people getting involved with the free agency stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you handle during the off season and all that. Like you guys are coming into All-Star weekend, obviously. Like this isn't a time to be talking about free agency. Like obviously we're sitting here talking about like the All-Star weekend itself, and that's I think what the players should be focused on. I don't think that should be something that's a topic coming into the All-Star weekend. Like me personally as a fan, I don't care about free agency right now.
To me, I think just kind of tie it back to the All-Star weekend. I think they've been, Russ has been getting that question all year. Him and Paul PG been getting those questions all year, and they're getting so close to the All-Star weekend that people will talk about like how these teams, like the big teams, they're kind of slowing it down a little bit because they're getting drained. Like they'll talk about the Warriors all day on how drained they are from the season, and they're just really waiting for All-Star weekend to kind of chill. And I think that was just, especially with Russ, he's always going to be active All-Star weekend. He's always going to be doing something.
Yeah, Russ is always on time.
I think honestly that was just a response out of frustration of damn, let me just
chill for a second.
Like kind of leave me alone almost. Just
that's all I think.
He's not going
that.
nowhere, but I felt like he was speaking on another man's.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just, at the same time, you got to think it's just like
did the same.
You're always talking. Russ is always talking to people who don't know what the hell they're talking about.
That's true. That's all. He gets so frustrated.
Yeah, and
it's
just
so
at a point in time, he's just like, man, shut the hell up. Like, how many gifts do we have of Russ just looking at somebody like they dumb? Like, that's really what it is.
Hey, but if he ends up leaving though, Russ gonna be real salty after saying that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
But the same thing about Kevin Durant.
So, what are you guys looking forward to with regards to tonight's game? Do you think that are you having any predictions for MVP? Yeah. Are you having any predictions for how this new format's gonna affect the game?
LeBron's team winning still.
Can you give us a score?
Nah, because they score like
they might score numbers, like
they might score like 200 points. I don't know. It's not like an average NBA game. So
just call a number.
I got, let's say, 176 to 165.
I like that number actually. Me personally, I'm damn near not gonna watch it. Like if it's on somewhere around, or if it's not a hassle for me to watch it, I'll watch it. But after watching the Rising Challenge game, it's gonna be the same thing. The young guys are gonna play just like the old guys. I really don't think you're not gonna have any real competition. It's gonna be another average regular all-star game for the past 5 years.
Especially with all the injuries that just happened. Like
one of the things that did frustrate me though, going back to that Russell Westbrook talking to people who don't know what the hell talking about, was the actual judges of the dunk competition.
Oh yeah.
So that really irked me. So just
who were the judges? Go ahead and name the judges.
All right, mind. Okay, so it was Dr. J. I believe it was Lisa Leslie. It was Mark Wahlberg. It was DJ Khaled.
Chris Rock.
And it was Chris Rock. So those were the 5.
What, 1 out of the 5 can dunk and can actually dunk?
2 out of the 5. Don't be disrespecting Lisa Leslie like that, bro.
2. She can rim graze,
Yeah, but no, the thing that's another thing that kind of deters me a little bit from. I was really excited about All-Star Weekend, but from the judges, and then just now that I think about it, like I got excited because the damn dunk contest has been sucking. You were saying it's been like a star power. It's been like a star power, but even with that, like how are we gonna really have a legitimate dunk contest with judges that I'm cool with having like all teams. Like I'm cool with having celebrities being it, but I need to know this celebrity is like, all right, I'm here to judge some shit. I'm not just here to mess around. And they were trying so damn hard on you guys see, but on the last dunk, I think Donovan Mitchell, he had to score 47 to win, and so there's like all of the judges were talking and conversing with each other, trying to make sure that the score came out to 46 so they could have another dunk, but somebody dumbass put in the wrong number. And so Donovan Mitchell won, but it's like one, he didn't like it wasn't a great dunk contest. The last dunk wasn't great. It was damn near a rim grazer. As far you can't really do a rim grazer if you're doing like a 720 some shit, but it was a rim grazer though, nonetheless.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But like just stuff like that, it just takes the how real the stuff is. It kind of takes.
So what you're saying is the All-Star game is basically going downhill because it's not taking All-Star Weekend altogether it's going downhill because celebrity game, dunk contest, skills challenge, the regular All-Star game.
They're trying to take the seriousness out of it.
They're not. Nothing is serious.
The NBA is doing
you can't
that.
get really excited about it.
Now, I will have a quick question with that. So, like you guys are kind of alluding to how I'm going to ask this question, I guess, is with all these changes to the All-Star Weekend, like, do you think that it's really taking away from fans? Or do you think they're trying something where it's trying to be more fun, I guess, and get people feel more involved? Because I feel like in the past few years, they keep trying to change it. I don't know if they did it this year, but like I know when John Wall won, they did a fan vote for the last vote, or for the last dunk to decide who won.
Yeah. I honestly think this is all about the money. Like, you get ratings, you get sponsorships and all that other stuff, and you need high fan ratings. So they put all these people like DJ Khaled in the forefront and stuff. People,
because I really don't like non-NBA players judging a dunk contest. That's really weird.
Nobody really wants to see Dr. J judge a contest. Like, they want to see people they know from their generation, the younger people, and that's why they're doing all this. But it takes away from the seriousness of the people who actually want to watch some real competition. So nothing. This is all for the ratings, I feel like.
Okay.
And then for me, I think I want to go back to just being like, if you're a real fan, or like if you're a if you're a diehard fan versus a more casual fan. I think that these changes for All-Star Weekend is going to affect the more casual fan. They're trying to make it more family friendly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really just
Never works
they're making something that, you know, everyone can watch, everyone can appreciate. Like, it was during the game, they had like this long ass like singing thing where people were singing. They were talking about like unity between like nations and people and stuff. And, like, I like that, but it like I said, it took away from the actual game itself.
Nothing
the actual basketball. And that's
exciting.
where, when I say, like, when you're you know, a diehard fan, you're there to see some competition. You're there to see stuff that resembles the stuff from before. And it's like, before, it wasn't out here, you know, having 30-minute singing stuff, talking about stuff. And it's not like I'm against that stuff. It's just like, it just kind of took focus away from what was going on. That's essentially it. It's just, they're doing things that are going to, like you said, these are things that you get more people, you're going to get more money. So you're going to cater to the audience where you're going to get the most money from. Yeah. But
you feel it's more catering to
it's not
fair weather fans.
Yeah, not competition, but catering.
Yeah. I just think what they should be looking into a little bit more is just how to really please a diehard fan, how to please a real fan of basketball a little bit more. Just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit.
Give them a little something. Yeah. But real quick, you never said who you thought was going to win. Are you going for my twin, or are you going for the guy that you hate?
As far as who I think's gonna win, there's so many damn changes. I don't even know who's like in the line.
I just see KD and LeBron on the same team. I'm like, it's hard to beat.
I would be, of course, rooting for Team Jordan, Team Curry, but
you heard it here
honestly,
first.
I think LeBron is gonna win. They got Kyrie.
And you got to go with numbers since you
they got Kyrie.
Yes. You got to go with numbers because you made me do that whole decimal stuff.
As far as how excited I am or what?
Yeah, why not? I was going to say score.
As far as I'll give you a number, because excitement, you clearly know I don't give a fuck. But as far as score, I would say give me, if the Rising Stars Challenge got up to 155, I would say that they'd be kind of mad if they didn't get over 150. So I'm gonna say like 152 to 166, and that's ridiculous that we're even saying these numbers.
I don't even remember my number. What was my number?
I don't know what your number.
We'll go back.
We'll look at it.
But yeah, and then last thing, excitement level.
Yeah, you get that affects you.
I say an 8. I'm excited because
a 7, as a 0.8 or
an 8.2.
7.8. Only because there's
a 7.5 or a 7.8.
7.8.
You went from a 7.87.
It's only because the injuries. There's too many injuries right now.
7.87 or 7.82.
7.87.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, Jordan.
No, it's all good.
Man, that's the thing.
Right. So I would ask you that, but I can't do what you just did. So that's gonna wrap up our NBA talk. We'll be back.
All right, guys, welcome back. So we got Dan here. We got Roy replacing Matt because Matt's a little bit too Caucasian for us. I love you, Matt. Shout out.
I'm probably more though.
Yeah, actually, in real life. But we are here for the DLC. Danny, man, what you got for us today, big dog?
This week's on Dan's Laughable Corners, we got the issue of hunting season ending and turkey hunting season coming too.
You said issue.
Yeah, it's a sad time when hunting season ends. It should be year round. That's a big issue.
How can someone talk about turkeys for so long?
There's a lot about turkeys. But yeah, so we had the fall/winter season was deer season for archery, rifle, muzzleloader, shotgun, depending on whatever state you're in. And then we have spring coming up, which is turkey season. We got I think
spring is turkey season.
Spring is the turkey season.
Fall is not turkey season. Spring is turkey season.
Why is spring?
Why
spring?
Gotta, like,
prep it for.
I mean, we have spring. It's because during the fall and winter time, that's when the deer are in their prime of moving around their most active states, due to like reproduction and all that stuff. It's a scientific thing that can't really talk about.
So turkeys get it in more during the springtime.
No, so with spring, now you have deer season ending. You have turkey coming too because they're migrating and all that stuff, and you're trying to get rid of the older turkeys to allow for newer turkeys to reproduce. It's very scientifical, and but I don't do that because I'm trying to save population. I do it because I enjoy eating turkey, and
You're real, because I'm real.
So yeah, we have turkey season, and I mean, depending on the location you are in the United States, is a different habitat and a different environment.
So it's not turkey season everywhere. It's turkey season everywhere, but it's not turkey season everywhere. Some places a different season.
Yeah, I mean, as far as date wise though, it'll be different. Like some places might have like coyote season or groundhog season, or there's usually a season for majority of animals.
When is rabbit season?
Wabbit season.
I have no clue.
Duck season.
Ducks. Wabbit season.
Oh, for real? What is this?
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, that's another thing where I think rabbits here in Illinois, they're not really considered a nuisance. So it's usually trapping and releasing, or you trap them and sell their fur. It's nothing like an actual season where you go out. They're like squirrel hunting. Like that's the only thing I could think of as far as Illinois wise. But
We have squirrel. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have squirrel hunting.
yeah,
season?
there's squirrel hunting. Usually you take like a low, small caliber rifle or an air rifle, and you obviously don't want to
BB gun?
Yeah, I'm kind of like that.
You know what I thought he was gonna say? No, I thought it's like, so you have to walk around with a pistol. And you have to. Dog.
That's what you do. You walk around in the woods and you just look up. You look into the trees.
That's
and
wrong form, Justin. You don't shoot sideways.
Squirrel and bang. But yeah. So with turkey season, obviously you can hunt with archery, which is bow and arrow.
Yeah.
That's another word for it. And then you also have shotgun, which you have your 12 gauge or your 20 gauge and your bird shot.
Are you using shotguns for anything outside of like big ass animals and birds?
Shotguns, I mean,
Are you using shotguns for birds?
and yeah, you use shotguns for clay pigeon shooting. You use shotguns for duck. Clay pigeon are those orange frisbees you see people shooting.
I thought of a clay.
I thought it was
Thank you, G. Thank you.
They're like pull, and then they shoot the things flying through the sky and they blow up. But then there's pheasant hunting, dove hunting, duck hunting, geese hunting.
What's like the most uncommon ass animal season that you've heard of?
I mean, I don't know. Fishing, the fishing season. I guess.
Gorilla season.
My name's Dan, and I hunt everything.
Hopefully, I mean, I plan to get into it more now that I've my schedule.
Better not go to African big game hunt, Dan. I'm gonna come get you.
No.
What you gonna hunt with that gun? Bitch, everything.
No, so actually Illinois has it where you have to use a shotgun year round, depending on. So you can't use a rifle in Illinois for hunting. You have to use a shotgun with the deer slug. So it's a big, basically a bullet put into a shotgun shell.
Big thick ass bullets. That makes sense.
I guess they viewed a shotgun
Spread shotty.
Harvesting a deer with a shotgun is more humane because it's instant kill compared to like a rifle where you would have potential misses and it suffers, which I'm
thinking like you get a big dumbass fake ass shotgun and it got this big dumbass fake ass bullet. You just pop them up, like half his body blow up. Like that's not humane.
I mean, not to be graphic or anything, but I mean, you could make a deer sit down pretty quick.
He said not to be humane, but I made that deer sit down real quick.
With turkey season coming up, though, we have, the hardest part of turkey season is location and calling. So you can't just go into the woods and like, here, turkey. Like, you actually have to practice and obtain the art and like the traditions of calling in turkeys, whether it be they have mouthpieces you put in.
Dan, you already know what you got to do, Dan. You already got to do. You got the mouthpiece next. You got the mic.
Oh, I mean, I use the chalk slates, so it's literally a rock, and they use a wooden peg, and it makes it almost the same exact sound.
You got out of it this time.
But it's like
not next time, Dan.
There it is.
Yeah, and then it's actually a pretty big hobby because it's closely linked to duck hunting and geese hunting, which is one of the bigger birds hunts. I don't know that many people that hunt quail or doves. Like
quail's like a biblical bird. I feel like nobody.
They actually look pretty cool. Like I probably wouldn't go quail hunting because they look like their feathers and stuff are colorful and they look like peacocks.
What if you just kill one and keep the feathers and then never hunt them again?
Well, I mean, the cardinal rule of hunting is you're supposed to hunt what you eat. So if I kill it, you have to eat it.
I mean, but like you don't have to keep killing them.
No, but
bro, these so many things. Like this is so interesting.
I mean, this last
like
fall.
What if I throw a piece of old meat away? Pick it up.
You gotta eat.
Well, no, because that's the thing is hunting is always has like this bad image in like the big media where it's like, oh, you're just trying to manslaughter like everything. It's like, no, like you hunt. Majority of people hunt for food because you get a deer, it's gonna last you. It's gonna give you that food for your family. And I know like Pennsylvania, the first day of hunting season, they actually give people the day off of work so that they can go into the woods.
Though I did know this one dude, he was from a wealthy family. I went to his house. He had like a room and like
a trophy room, yeah.
And he has so many buckheads, like
like
15,
mounts and stuff.
Like
I mean, but
I mean,
obviously that's
give me a ratio. How many as far as like out of 100, how many people do you think are actually hunting for food? How many people do you think are hunting for sport, and how many people do you think are just killing shit?
Just make it up. I don't know.
Well, people hunting for food, I would say it was pushing 80s.
Really?
Yeah. That's
for sport or food?
Food for food. Right. For sport, that's where you have like the big game hunting in Alaska or Canada, Africa, Europe or South America.
Don't go to Africa, Dan.
So sport hunting isn't as big as I'm thinking it is.
No, it's not. I mean, I personally, being a hunter, don't understand why people need to kill a giraffe or a lion or whatever thing is. The only thing I can think of is, like I said, population control.
You know what makes me actually like think that sport hunting is more of a thing because I see all these dumbass arcade games and shit.
I remember that.
Shoot this big ass deer for free. Pow! Oh, that was awesome. I'm gonna put a quote in it. They let you shoot that bitch for free.
Yeah, but another thing with trophy hunting though,
trying to get you going.
With trophy hunting though, is like you hear a lot of bad news behind trophy hunting, but what people don't see is that a lot of like these outfitters that take these people out into the wilderness to go hunting, they have like charities and donations set up. Outfitter would be.
My question was, what is outfitters?
Outfitters would be like a company that is specifically designed to accommodate your housing, your food, your navigation, your bringing in your guide. So
this is for like when you're trying to like hunt for like more than a day or something, or you're trying to camp.
Yeah, I mean you can't. I mean, if you're gonna spend that money, usually it's like a week-long trip. Some people go for 2-week-long trips, or you'll be like, oh, you have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday hunt, so you would go there Thursday, unpack, get your cabin set up. First thing Friday you'd go out. First thing Saturday you'd go out, and then you'd hunt half a day Sunday and pack everything up and come home, because hunting isn't as easy as just walking into the woods one day and seeing it. It actually takes a lot of scouting.
Be honest with you, I don't know how people enjoy hunting because it looks like y'all just sit in a tree for like a whole day to not kill something.
But you're not just picking a random tree in the woods and sitting in it. That's what's not shown by a lot of people.
I mean, I guess it's like the tracking. It's like the whole.
Yeah. So like the tree that you're sitting in, you chose that tree because you believe through your research, your scouting, that there's a high chance of you being able to get.
But you still just spent 8 hours in a tree.
So pretty much, I
feel
like what he's saying is, if your ass is in a tree for 8 hours and you don't kill some shit, that's your fault.
No, but that happens though.
Yeah,
like I don't know a lot about hunting. I know a little bit about hunting.
This last season, I went probably 15 times.
How many times you kill something?
This season I didn't get anything.
Look at that!
But it was my first time hunting in Illinois.
But still, okay. The reason I'm not too big on hunting, not that other people can't hunt, is 2 reasons. I'm squeamish and I'm soft. Okay. Double S. Well, I don't like blood. I don't like guts.
Yeah.
And then I'm soft. I feel bad, and I feel bad about what I just killed. Not that I have any problem with it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, but like as a kid, like I was always subjected to not necessarily like the violence. I'm not going to go out here and just pull legs off animals and stuff, but it's when I was a kid, my dad engaged with me. He brought me along. He taught me things here and there. I got to see how it was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And then you build on top of that. But as far as like the guts and everything, I mean that still gets to me. You have to.
When I was in Kenya, I did once slaughter a chicken because we had to eat it. You know, I was in my.
I feel like it's harder to slaughter a chicken than a deer. Like,
dude, a chicken, you can hold his body with your knee and like.
Yeah, but that's like up close and personal. Like, you're feeling the life being taken out of that animal.
That's why I can't do hunting, because that all of that goes in my head. Like once I shot it, I know by the time I get to it, it's probably like. You know,
what am I thinking about?
But I think about all of that.
What am I thinking about? Where somebody like takes the legs of an animal, like you take it. I think I don't know, Brittany. I might be talking. I'm about to say something stupid. Brittany, it might have been you. Where you she was taking the legs of the cat, the hind legs of the cat, and just spreading them motherfuckers like hard as hell, like she was trying to break them motherfuckers off.
Is this like a TV show?
Class? Like,
are you talking about wishbones but confusing it with a real animal?
No, I'm talking about a real animal, Brittany.
I mean, you have to.
Okay, anyway,
when you're
I told y'all it was gonna be stupid.
When you're field, cat legs. When
like
you're
this kids are just breaking them bitches.
Those are crazy people. They need to see it help.
Sociopaths.
Like the only time that for me, like when you're field dressing,
a lot of them.
When you're field dressing like an animal, you kind of have to do that in order to be able to extract like the organs and stuff. You literally you put your knees in between it so that it's wide, and then you unzip it. You open up the chest cavity and then do whatever you have to do. And
so I guess, and Michael, what things have you hunted?
Killed,
not just gone on the stalk, but like actually killed.
Hunted caribou.
Okay.
I've hunted deer.
Okay.
I've hunted turkey. Black bear.
Damn, you killed a black bear? You killed a bear?
Well, I hunted a black bear.
Oh, I was finna say, if you killed a black bear, you really failed. I'm giving you so much respect. No more. I'm never gonna make fun of you.
No, I mean,
killed a black
bear. It's definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I missed it by about 2 seconds.
Oh.
Like the shot or
so I was waiting for it to have the right shot so I don't wound it and make it suffer, and I was checking the area
you're
behind
nice.
it.
You didn't want to hurt it.
I mean, it's when you take your hunter safety courses, that's the first thing they teach you. Your first object is don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Take the safety off and check behind the animal so you're not killing multiples or shooting someone behind it. Damn. And like, those are just typical practices that you learn. You can't just have hundreds of thousands of people in the woods just
learn these
Rambo
things.
Style.
Learn these things, Chicago. God. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Roy, thank you.
Always welcome to be on.
Dan, he got real points today.
Yeah, he almost killed a black bear.
You almost killed a bear.
I've killed more animals than this bear.
But you ain't killed a black bear, Dan. You almost killed a black bear.
Actually, I'm 100% accurate with my shots.
Matt, we'll see you guys next. All right, guys, welcome back. So we got the whole fam in. So we're going to go ahead and go over gaming, but we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to go over gaming, and of course, because it's such a popular thing, we're going to have to break into the Black Panther movie.
For the culture.
Right. Either way, so the first thing we're going to talk about is Fortnite, and we're not going to get too detailed into it, but we just want to appreciate the joy of having small success in Fortnite. It's 1 versus 100, and you know when you survive and you're at least within the 50s, it's just like, you know what? I'm better than 50 people, and I am not that great of a shooter at all in general. But yesterday, I had my first kill. Okay,
you did.
And it's Roy plays with us. It'll be me, Jordan, and Dan, and we'll run fours or whatever. And you know, we had our first squad win a couple nights ago. It was a great thing. It was my first win ever, you know. But
you got the
some people you got the
some people have won before, you know.
Some people are probably looking at it, won like a good 70 or something.
Right.
We got our first one. We're happy.
And Roy and Roy gets in the group chat. Hey guys, I won another one. It's like, what? So you supposed to win? Like, over here fishing for compliments. So guys, I want you to just kind of tell me how you felt about. Well, first, Matt, because you said you haven't really played too much. Yeah. Have you had success in Fortnite?
Not at all.
No success at all.
None. I started playing. I'm like, damn, I suck at this shit. Let me just watch the YouTube videos of people playing and enjoy their wins.
Matt, do you have PlayStation?
Yes, I do.
Yo,
I have PS4. You're gonna have to teach me. Y'all gonna just
teach
me later.
Yeah. Get in the squad.
Because I see people like building shit. I'm like, how the fuck do they do it so quickly? I can't.
Roy, how did you feel?
No, I felt excited. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm a horrible builder. all of my wins, I don't think I've built an actual structure to kill somebody. Flanks, guys. Flanks and snakes.
He's a strategy. Attack strategy.
I just sneak up from behind and I shocking you in the face.
Dan, how did you feel?
Well, my job in the whole entire win was just mowing down their bases.
You look like you're about to sing into the mic right now.
And I swear.
Please don't bring up random things to Dan. He will go with it.
But yeah, I mean, I had lots of bullets. We killed a group before that, and I was just Motown.
This is Dan. This is Dan. I'm like, Dan, guys, back up. Dan, no, I'm shooting their base. Okay, it's down. Like, Dan, I'm not in position.
They didn't go do shit.
They're too far.
I just wanted to knock it
But
down.
they were scared. They had to concentrate on something else besides aiming at us.
I hate when he be right too. Though.
So, and he was right. Because meanwhile he was doing that, Jordan had already pushed up by himself. He's like, guys, you gotta save me. Like, oh my God, Jordan, we were pushing from the left.
Jordan,
I keep thinking you guys are on the same page.
How do you feel, Jordan?
I felt awesome. That was great. That was a legit team win.
Yeah,
I was really happy. Like sometimes you get really lucky. That was a legit team win.
And Matt Swims doesn't know because he doesn't.
Yeah, I've never played this game.
Look
before,
at that jacket. Do you think he played Fortnite? Nah.
He said, "Do I look like I play?"
I play video games. That's my.
I don't play Fortnite though.
I'm just
Crash Bandicoot.
That's a Crash Bandicoot jacket.
You know what's good about Fortnite is I feel like I'm like an army commander. Like we're sitting here like we got 360 like no scopes, and you're like, oh, they're at 40 degrees south. We need to flank them, and then you fucking bunker down, reload, bandage up. We're moving out in 0600 hours.
And see, that tells you the kind
We're gonna hit
of
this house
person.
real quick.
That tells you the kind of person that Dan is. For me personally, you know what I enjoyed? I like when we first played before we got the All-Star over here. When we first played, we used to get really far. We used to be like the last 3-4 people in the game, but we always lose because, like I said, I'm not a great shooter. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, whatever. But you know what we do though? You know what we did do that I really enjoyed? We hid. we hit a lot. We got a lot of materials. Like I feel like I don't have a good game if I don't max out my materials. Like
that was his goal.
I didn't have a good game with my materials. Like we could win and like if I could kill some people if I'm not like it.
Justin, when I think the first time I was playing Fortnite, he said, "I'm a survivor, bro. I'm just really good at surviving."
I'm just good at surviving. Like I feel like that's real.
So
that's
funny.
real life.
It's so funny because like people get excited about getting a gold gun. Justin gets excited about seeing a big tree and cutting it down.
Them big ass pine trees with the leaves on the ground. Oh my boy!
All you hear on the mic is
50.
Oh, that's a big tree.
I got a question for you winners, for you guys that won. Are you guys having as much fun with Fortnite as you did when you first played Modern Warfare? Would you say?
You know what? I'm glad. Don't listen to them.
You probably didn't hear it on the mic. They just said, automatically said, "Fuck God."
I'm with you, Matt. I'll tell you this.
Fuck God.
My first COD was Modern Warfare 1. That was probably the most fun I've ever had in a first-person shooter. I had my little MP5.
Yeah.
And I didn't stop running.
So you guys excited about that as you were?
Boy, stop.
No.
Fortnite way more exciting.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I think I'm surprised so many people like Fortnite.
A lot of people love it.
Like a
It's
lot.
so
Everyone.
fun.
People who
It's
don't like
just
video
fun.
games. Yeah.
A lot of people love it.
You know why?
I can imagine.
Sitting here in the corner, just like I have no idea what they're talking about.
You know what? Because like I feel like most people's gaming. Oh my bad. Excuse me. Most people's Fortnite gaming turns to I dropped in and I just got shotgun in the face.
Yeah.
I dropped in and then but people keep playing. Like people must really like getting shotgun in the face.
Stupid, bro. Like the first time we played, like we ain't die soon. Like it's a house. I didn't know it was that many houses. I didn't know it was like communities, gas stations.
You must not play duos with Jordan because when me and Jordan play duos, where we going, Jordan?
To the
Come on, Jordan.
Anarchy. Tilted Towers. I'm sorry. You're right. We're going to Tilted Towers for blood.
You letting me down.
You're right. I'm sorry.
See, y'all know names and stuff, bro. I legit I'm like,
It's
all right,
early.
we gonna go to this hill over here, and we gonna sit inside this house, and then hopefully the circle close on the house, and then we surprise them.
Justin was upset when I first started playing with him.
He made him into bloodthirsty animals. When everybody was just surviving and getting stuff and holding on to things. I'm looking for food.
I enjoy playing with Roy.
I'm gonna shoot things. And Jordan out here shooting stuff. When I saw him kill somebody, I'm like, Jordan!
Jordan, why would you kill him?
Why would you kill him? He was just
he did nothing to you.
He wasn't even coming by us.
He didn't even see us. No, yeah, that's why I liked when Roy started playing. You could really let your bloodthirst out.
Justin was like, dude, we were having so much fun just surviving, okay? And you ruined everything.
Okay.
He was so upset with me.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. That's just.
But then we got our first squad win. And honestly, I can tell you this: when Justin got that kill, I saw a little bit of bloodthirst. We were hiding. I think it was either me and Dan or me and Jordan dead.
Everybody died.
And then I think it was Justin and somebody else in the building, and we got flanked. So the team that killed us, they started fighting another team, and I was watching Justin's camera, and I was like, Justin, he didn't see you. Rush him. Just rush him. And he's like, okay.
And no, that would not be like that.
Matter of fact, he didn't even say it. He just ran out like I was like, oh, Jesus, he's about to die. No, he killed him.
I had a minigun.
Just to let you guys know, this is how much he likes to hide. We were playing one day. Just a quick story. We were playing one day. A group is coming in on us. I see them. I'm like, guys, there's a group of 4 coming in on our building. Me and Roy go in to meet them. We're fighting them. We die. We're like, where does Dan and Justin?
I remember this.
Justin. Wait. Dan went into a bathroom and took a shotgun and pointed the shotgun at the door. Justin built himself a box and didn't have a gun. He was just sitting in a box. They opened the box and they just see Justin with a pickaxe just sitting there. They kill him.
I thought they was going to come in. That was my best chance.
And then Justin dies, and Dan runs out of the bathroom and just tries to fight him by himself and dies. Like, what was that?
Another time, Justin's just in the upstairs.
We got stories on stories.
Another time, he just in the upstairs.
We gotta go to Black
He's just in the upstairs bathtub, just sitting there, not doing anything. All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, I can see myself in the mirror." He didn't do anything. Meanwhile, I'm downstairs. I'm like, Justin, just come downstairs and pick me. He's like, no, they're still in the building. I think Dan was still alive, so Dan eventually came back and saved us, and just was like, oh, I was so scared. I'm like, you were in the bathtub.
I was in the bathtub. I was sitting there for like a good 4 minutes too. I was happy. I was really happy. I'm like, they ain't gonna find me. It was the excitement of like winning, hiding.
That was once they got away. When they were downstairs, he was so scared.
I was scared as hell.
So as you can see, we're really excited about Fortnite.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll go over to Black Panther. And you know what's fun? We're gonna let you go ahead and talk about. You saw Black Panther, please.
You go ahead.
Yeah,
so
right.
I personally loved Black Panther. I thought it was a fantastic film. We're not gonna get into spoilers or anything for people who haven't seen it. So and Dan. Yeah. So we're not gonna get into spoilers, but it is a superb film. I think.
My question to you.
Yeah.
Per the film, we have a strong influx of passion towards our African brethren,
right?
Due to this movie,
right?
Okay. I have a strong opinion about this. I'm going to ask you about your opinion, and I'm going to ask everyone if they agree with your opinion, and then we'll move on from there. So, what is your opinion of people coming to the opening night with the
shigis and stuff like that? So, I think it's a very interesting thing. I think
also churches buying stuff out to go see this.
I think it's. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's wonderful because like it's a movement in itself that we've seen in other movies, but I think the problem is that like Black people haven't necessarily had this type of feeling towards a certain movie before. So it's like, like think about it. When motherfuckers go see Star Wars, you see them niggas cosplay as Yoda and Darth Vader and all that shit. That's pretty much what Black people are doing for Black Panther.
Why are you crying?
Like, I was like, right. But is that not true? Like I remember Winter Soldier came out. I saw. Because I used to work in a movie theater, and I saw a girl who came with
like you used to work at a movie theater, but that's not.
Me and Chris used to work at a movie theater.
We did.
You worked at a movie theater?
Yeah, I was the main. Matt got me the job at the movie theater.
I was the manager there.
Yeah.
Hey, he wants free respect. You just got respect.
I didn't pay for a movie for like how many years?
Like 4 years. Jordan didn't pay for.
Jordan, why didn't you know me back then?
IRS.
Yeah.
But
anyway, but like I saw a girl there who like had a metal arm on for like the Winter Soldier. Like that's what black people are doing. We just showing up in our African stuff because it's like we have an African superhero.
And I hate when people say we shouldn't get it. Well, like, why are we had Blade. Mm-hmm. Blade was the last Blade came out in 2004. We have 3 different Peter Parkers since then, and we can't get them excited.
Roy, do you agree with them?
Yes, with like caveats. Okay. All right. So, no, you're not gonna turn from me.
Oh, you say yes. Oh, you got caveats.
Right,
he had caveats.
I would say this. I think yes, exactly for all the reasons they say. But my only reservations is that I think I'm not in the mic. My bad. I feel like a lot of times those who wear don't really know what they're wearing. There's a culture behind what you're wearing. Oh, yeah. So like the kente cloth is specific to like West African, specifically Ghana, and it's more for special occasions. So I mean, even though Black Panther is a movie, I mean you can make the argument, it's a very special occasion because there aren't very many movies like this. So I mean, in that regards, I'm not upset, but it's not one of those things where like, oh, just wear whatever African garb you have because it's African.
I'm gonna come back to you on that.
Kente cloth doesn't mean anything to me.
I'm gonna come back to you on that one.
That's an extremely valid point that I had not thought of at
Jordan,
all. So,
you agree?
Yes.
Daniel White, how do you feel about this?
So we're arguing about people wearing African culture clothing?
No.
Dan!
So here's my argument to that. And that is mainly Roy's thing. So the thing that irritated me was one, living with Roy, like Roy's Kenyan, living with Roy, I really come to understand, especially one of my best friends, Shay, he's Nigerian. I come to understand that Americans are very, very simple and closed-minded about how Africa is. Mm-hmm. So like the fact that we even say African attire is such a wide range. Like, do you know how many countries are in Africa? And so people, like, every time people see African, oh, that's a dashiki. Like, everything's not a dashiki. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything's not a dashiki. And then on top of that, we're talking about Wakanda. Wakanda is not a fucking place. And then, but you can't show me where Ghana is on the map, though. But you're this hyped to go see this movie about black stuff. And then everybody's like, oh, black power, pro-black this. And it's like, oh, so many black people in this thing. It's like, we've done this before. These things have happened before. And I know it's probably getting a little bump because it's, you know, because Black Panther's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can appreciate that and understand that it's a dope movie, so like everybody's excited to see it. But I feel like black people did too much with this one, just because it's like, I mean, I don't even have a problem with people dressing up to go and see and stuff, but it's just churches are selling stuff out. We're doing this, and then the message of like it's a Marvel movie. Like, yeah, you can delve into it and see like, oh, means this and this means that. But it's a Marvel movie. It's a movie about a comic book character.
Yes, it's a Marvel movie. But I think you're missing like just how important it is. Like, you don't get to see this type of stuff in media too often. Like let's put it like this. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, there were so many black TV shows. You had Martin, you had the Fresh Prince. In early 2000s, you had Half and Half. You had Malcolm and Eddie in the 90s. That's So Raven. Like, you had people on TV who were black people. Like, how many black shows are out right now? Like, Black-ish, I think, is the
only show. Like,
right, I was like, popular. Everything else is like on. You have to like go to BET or TV One to watch black shows.
I'm not watching reality TV, by the way.
And that's the thing. It's like, and I don't even want to count VH1 because like the black people on there, you're like, oh my god, like damn.
I think with. And I think that comes to a certain kind of black person and what they watch. So I'll name this for you. I watch Atlanta. I watch Blackish. I watch Power.
I love Power.
Everybody loves Power.
There's a new spin-off of Blackish where his daughter actually goes to college. I forgot the name of it. It starts with an R.
Yeah. You got that one. What else? It's a couple more. What else am I watching? I'm watching Power. I remember we used to watch.
What's the superhero one?
Hold on, wait. But to that point, some of the stuff you're mentioning, you have to have like cable. You have to have like extended stuff. Like Power's on Stars. Like
Fire Stick. Fire Stick. If you care about the culture, Fire Stick. Fire Stick.
All right.
Real quick.
Let
Let me make a point real quick. Going back to what Justin said. I think the excitement, me personally, the reason I was excited about it is I completely understand where Roy's coming from. By the way, that makes perfect sense. That was a great.
That was my biggest thing.
Yeah, but just I think the excitement level, why people are trying to be extra, is just because this is the first time that you really see someone back, like for example, an all-black cast and a black director and all that. They put $200 million on this. When have you seen anyone put $200 million on a black?
Blade was low budget.
On an all-black cast and all black. And I'm just saying, like,
costume
some people
designers,
don't.
Everything.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see the significance to that, but that just shows that Hollywood at least is taking steps to make some sort of improvement on what they've had before. I think that's really impressive. I mean, it's a superhero movie, but you're not going for that stereotypical trope black actor. Like, I'm not gonna be a drug dealer or blah blah blah. Like, this is a hero. This is something for kids to look up to. Cool.
Everything y'all hate me with, I'm gonna give you a little rebuttal back. I ain't gonna get too much into it, but with that, what you're saying with that one, my thing is they're putting so much money into it because they're putting so much money into the Marvel universe.
No, I agree.
Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, it has nothing to do with the fact that it is the all black cast and that it's doing something different. But I do want to say it's going back to that 60-40 thing. I want to say it's more like 70-75 that this is a Marvel movie that's going to pump out a lot of money, and 25% that this is a pro-black thing.
But it's also a solo movie though. Like, if you notice, I don't think they put as much money into like the first Guardians of the Galaxy. They put a lot into the second one though.
Yeah.
So it's like I think people, they understood, like, it's and think about the significance. We're having a comic book company this is an all black movie, all black cast, costume designers, sound producers, all that. But who else is doing it?
My rebuttal back to that one is that Black Panther is the latter of the Marvel movies, and they've been more established where they're able to do that.
Real quick rebuttal. I'm sorry. To that point is, the thing is even if it is a money grab, like you're saying, and it's kind of already an established thing, the thing is, to me, it opens up so many doors. Like, that's where I think the significance is. You can get so many. That means that you can be so, like, people are. If this is successful and this makes them a lot of money, that means Hollywood now realizes you can make movies about other people's cultures and keep it culturally sound, and people will show out for it. I'm so like. I'm not trying to cause like a stir, but I'm so tired of seeing something about like Egypt or something like that and just seeing like a whole bunch of white people. It's not that white people weren't in Egypt, it's just that I just see it as...
It's just that they weren't in Egypt.
No, no. They actually were. There was actually...
I get what you're saying, though.
It's not like... It's not a significant thing. There was a movie about some people in Hawaii, and it was a whole white cast, and there are white people.
I'll give you that.
But even in the book, it was based off Hawaiian.
Gods of Egypt.
Gods of Egypt was
You can.
How do you have to? You have to.
I'm sorry. You can get. I'm just
y'all
saying.
have.
I'm getting a point.
Yeah. I know. It's a good point. And what you're saying, I got you. What you're saying is 100% correct. I agree with that. But what I will say is your point is a sub point. It's not the main. It's not
less
idea.
important. It's just.
It's a sub
It's attached
idea.
to something else. Like you have this, and then it's
A and served as one.
I mean, in all actuality, though, of course they made the movie to make money. Like that's what Marvel is.
Yeah,
that's the point of the movie. It's like you're gonna make a lot of money off of it.
I don't think black people are like, oh, this is gonna open up things. I think they're just doing it because other black people are doing it.
You know what?
But
I think there are so many. I think there are people like I totally disagree with that.
No, I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all. I'm just the guy that gets irritated when I see the few.
When you see what I'm saying,
when I see the few.
Hey, bro, you got to let that slide.
Also, and I'll give you this. I'm while in terms of how they go to the movie theater, I'm with you guys. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Partly because I was born in Kenya. I've been here since I was little, and I've had to see like I understand to a certain degree that most people don't know a lot, and so like in order to keep from getting frustrated all the time, I just accept that hey, at least they're showing their support in the way they know.
They're trying.
Yeah. We're trying. We're just really excited.
Exactly. I know Justin. I know he's a lot more self-aware than a lot of people, and he's a lot more, and he understands these things, and he's seeing them, and he's like, you guys are doing it, and Justin is trying to see how much of it is a fad? How much is it? Oh, you guys are just showing out because Black Panther and you feel empowered, not because you actually care.
It's like it really feels like a fad.
It's that fine line. And he's like, do you guys actually care? Is this something you guys are actually doing, or is it just more like Facebook activism in the real life? I'm gonna go watch.
I was gonna see Black Panther regardless.
Yeah, I feel you. And that's why, like, I don't think Justin is wrong. Even when he's talking about the budget and the timing of the movie. I don't know when they announced Black Panther. I think they announced Black Panther
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe even 3 to be honest with you. They showed their timeline. And I specifically watched. If you look at the MCU timeline leading up to the latest Avenger, Black Panther is the very last hero to be presented before the Avengers in May. We've had 3 Iron Man movies. We've had 3 Thor movies. We've had a rebooted Spider-Man. You know, it was put at the very, very end. At the end of the day, I just watched it. It was great. It was everything I wanted. So I'm not mad that it was made. But when I first saw the timeline, I was like, dang man, how are they gonna put Black Panther at the end? You know, it could be strategic.
And
it could be all of that
in February too?
Exactly. You know,
I was cool with that. I wanted that.
But it's all strategic. We do know it's strategic in some ways.
So like I understand. Like I definitely agree. I think people should be able to do whatever and go whatever, because that's the thing. You know, if you're getting mad at them just because you think they're doing too much in and of itself, I think you're wrong, because people do too much in all movies. If you're getting mad at them because you don't think they actually care, that's very valid. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to pretend that Marvel is necessarily doing something completely revolutionary, because it's all a science, it's all a system. And the release of it, in terms of their scheduling with all the other movies, was very apparent. The first time I saw it, I was really upset, because I'm like, how are you going to make 3 whole other movies before you finally get to this? Same thing on Netflix. They made, I think, is it 2, maybe 3 seasons of Daredevil, and then they had another season of something else scheduled before. They're gonna come out with season 3 of Daredevil before they have a second season of Luke Cage. They're gonna have a second season of Alias before they have a second season of, you know what I'm saying?
I would say a slight defense of them is just the fact that, like, some of those things have already been established, and people have waited a long time for some of them. Maybe not necessarily Daredevil, but like Jessica Jones. People have waited a long time for the second season of Jessica Jones, so it would make sense if that came out before Luke Cage. And I would say, and when going back to some of the other stuff that we were like, some of the other Marvel movies, I don't think it had been established whether or not Black Panther was going to be in the Marvel universe at the time, because at the time we didn't know what was going to be Phase 3 and stuff like that. So I understand but I do understand what you're saying, where it's like you put him at the back, because he got introduced in Civil War, and that was in 2016, and we're in 2018, and that's the movie. But again, it seemed like it was kind of like a short notice thing. But at the same time, they're still establishing people, because remember, Miss Marvel she's getting her own movie after Avengers, so she's still coming. Yeah. So it's like, I do understand where you're coming from, but I don't think it's as much as, like, I don't think it's as big of a thing.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say it's necessarily one way or the other. Yeah. I'm trying to say that everything Justin is saying is valid, because
there's awareness out there.
You can look at everything, the scheduling, the budgeting, and all of that, and you can make as equally strong an argument of, no, they don't really care that much, they're going for the money. And you can make as equally a statement, because the movie's out now, we've all seen how good it is, and we've all seen the steam at. They don't reference the Avengers, they don't reference Captain America, they don't reference Thor, none of that. Like,
do not.
The only, like, honestly, like, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you, but like, the only really white people who get seen and named are Claw and the CIA agent. That's it. That's literally it. Those are
little special at the end.
Yeah, the cameo at the end. But like, those are the only white people outside of your random background people who are in the movie, and that's not a problem. It's cool, and that's why you can make an equal argument. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Justin's right, but I'm still with you guys on the.
My last thing, just to wrap it up, is like, I'm not like trying to be like super duper negative about it, but you know, But if that's just kind of a thing that I noticed that, like, us as black people do. Like, we'll catch on to something, and then we won't know what the hell it is, and then we'll back it and back it and back it, and then you won't understand the additional.
So, but I would say you can make that argument about just Americans in general.
You can't.
Like, because that's what we as black people get mad at, like white people, like, oh, you wearing like we did like braids or dreads, or like we
have a whole thing about
like
that.
we did that when it came to Miley Cyrus when she had her like
do-rags,
weird
fashion
right, her phase.
Yeah.
So it's one of I think everybody can feel that way where it's like an appropriation of culture. So
we just need to be a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, I think as Americans,
let's do it better.
Like as Americans in general, like I can attest to that because for the people who don't know, I'm in pharmacy school right now and I go to UIC and there's a lot of Asian people around me.
Yeah.
There's so much I've learned in the past 3 months ago. Like when people, like if someone says, "Oh, someone speaks Chinese," that's technically wrong.
Yeah,
people don't realize
I am of the person and of the population that comprehends that and is like, you're an asshole.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But that's an American problem because if you told most Americans, like, speaking Chinese isn't a thing, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Of course,
like Mandarin, Cantonese, and other
exactly.
Chinese is not a language.
Puerto Rican, like Puerto Rico, they're like, "Oh, well, do you speak Puerto Rican?" Where it's like, "Well, Puerto Rico is the United States, and they speak Spanish."
Right.
So it's I think it goes to the fact of like to your overarching point where it was like, do you really know what this stands for? I think you can make that point about Americans in general. You know, so it's one thing. I think America has to do better in opening up to everybody around the world.
Since I'm black, I'm just gonna focus on black people. Let's do better. We always be better.
Yeah, that's really what I mean. It's like it's understood, but
I learned a lesson today.
What you learn?
I've learned.
I
wasn't even thinking about the whole cheeky thing and all that stuff. And African. I mean, that's a real lesson. Like I can totally see why someone would be offended by that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't even comprehend that. That's
Wait,
real.
Dan, what was your comment on whether they can dress up or not?
I said yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys, that'll wrap it up.
Anyway, but for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, please go see it.
Yeah,
Black Panther was amazing.
It was a great movie. All the characters are done well.
Killmonger.
Killmonger is the best. He is the best Marvel villain.
And if it's not a good movie, I'm gonna say it's not a good movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will bet money you will not say that.
During the All-Star weekend, I saw Michael B. Jordan. He had a clip, and it was the worst clip I've ever seen in my life.
What was he doing?
He was
at the art store.
Michael B. Jordan was about to fight. Oh boy, he took his shirt off.
Yeah.
He took his shirt off, had the little bumps on or whatever, and he was just going through like a little monologue of what he about to do.
No. But you need so much context to that monologue, though.
I'll give you this.
We gotta wrap it up.
We do gotta wrap this. But I know Justin. I can warn you on a few things because I know exactly what he'll like.
If it's poor acting, I'm calling it out.
I know exactly. I know him.
Or physics.
Don't worry. No.
If it's poor physics, I'm calling it out.
Look, we're talking about the future, so it don't matter.
Right.
Well, I want to ask is now that the movie's out and everybody's have seen it, how excited are you, percent-wise, for the Avengers movie? Are you 100%? Are you
for what?
For the Avengers movie?
To be honest with you, the Avengers movies haven't been that exciting to me.
No, in May.
I'm not that excited.
The first one.
Really? I've never been a fan of them. They're
not
heavy. They're not heavy on
What's your percentage?
My percentage on the Avengers.
Infinity Wars, right?
No, 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. Okay.
You want me to give you a harsh? I'm just gonna be
0
specific. Let's say 6.8.
6.8. All right,
To 7.2.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm really excited about this.
God damn it, Matt. An 8.8 or a 9.2? He said 9. Answer the question.
No, I'm not doing these.
No, answer the question. It's an 8 or a 9.2.
Are you on?
Matt won't be here next week.
I swear to God. Dan.
I'll probably say I'm a 7.62.
I like that.
Damn, that's specific.
I like that. That's specific.
It's excited, but
I'm going for solid 10. I'm gonna go for a solid 10.
All right.
And I would say since we're playing in decimals, I'd say I'm a 9.1.
Thank you.
9.1.
Thank you.
So I'm
Matt,
definitely.
Matt,
I'm.
Because he's gonna ask me like 3 different times back and forth.
Matt, would you like to amend your answer?
Very excited for Infinity Wars. I love these Marvel movies. My only issue is that as long as they don't keep like, there's kind of been, there hasn't been a lot of originality in some of these Marvel movies lately. That's another reason why Black Panther is good. It's an extremely original movie. Like Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, the second one. Like it was the second one. I thought the second one was really funny, but it was really similar to the first one. And Thor Ragnarok was very similar to that. It's just like there's been like kind of like a Marvel theme where it's like you're doing too much to make me laugh instead of just being naturally funny.
We've officially broken into a new segment now.
Yeah. All right, y'all, we're gonna wrap it up because we
no, 9.1 though.
9.1. All right, an overarching thing. Still go see Black Panther. It's probably a good.
No, it is.
All right, guys. So that'll wrap it up for today. So we'll be getting back to you guys sometime next week. I don't know if everybody will be here again, but we'll be working on that. We'll have some additional content coming to you guys too. Go make sure to check out the Facebook page if you're trying to just listen. Well, if you already listened to it, but in the future you want to listen to it on the SoundCloud, you can. If you ain't got YouTube Red, we got everything popped up. Instagram, we keep you updated on stuff. So just be on the lookout for stuff. We appreciate you guys watching. Everybody, if this is your first time watching, welcome. If you've seen all the episodes, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to really look and see what it is. Take time to comment. If you disagree with something, comment on it. And if you guys got any ideas for
definitely suggestions,
feel free to make suggestions or anything. But like I said, I'll wrap it up, guys. We will see you next week.
Don't forget to like, share, and comment.
Those things.
And subscribe.
Too.
Thank you. I said that shit the first time.
To these nuts. Subscribe to these nuts.